Hey everybody, John the Other here. Obviously. And this is really not going to be of interest to anybody outside of British Columbia. But if you're in BC, which is where I am, you might want to pay attention. I have just learned in the last 30 to 40 minutes that British Columbia is having a provincial referendum on changing our voting system. Now, I freely admit I do not sit down and watch the 6 o'clock news every night, if there is even such a thing anymore. But I do read the news, and I'm pretty connected to the political life of the country and the province. I'm a member of a bunch of different political Facebook groups. I'm participating in them all the time. And I listen to the news on the radio every single day. And I have heard exactly nothing until tonight that in exactly 2 weeks we are having a provincial referendum on changing our voting system. Now, presently BC has what is called first past the post, which is basically voting by riding. So if you live in a riding that is largely lower income, that would be NDP. And so if you are not a believer in the NDP way of doing things, then your vote is wasted. If you go vote in a provincial election, you are just throwing your vote away, because your riding is going to be whatever your riding is, whether that's an NDP riding or a Liberal Party riding or a Conservative riding or a Libertarian riding, if there is ever such a thing. And so it's disheartening, and it's one of the big problems of a riding-based or a first-past-the-post-based voting system. And one of the things that gets talked about every time a government wants to pretend that they actually give a shit about democracy or about having your vote count is they will talk about changing the vote to a proportional voting system, which means that no matter where you live, your vote actually gets counted rather than disappearing in the wash of your local riding, which just is whatever that riding is. And in my case, it would be an NDP riding, even though I hate the NDP. So this is what arrived in my mailbox today. Get ready for the referendum. Now, it doesn't actually say on here, I'm not going to bother reading it to you because it doesn't say what's actually being voted on. I had to go to electionsbc.ca/referendum to figure out what exactly this referendum is. And rather than offering first past the post, which is our current system, against a proportional voting system, you know, the present system, or proportional voting, they've got first past the post, which is the current system, against 3 different versions of proportional voting. And this hasn't been talked about in the news. It hasn't been explained to anybody. It hasn't been in the newspaper. It's not on the radio. It's not in any of my digital news feeds. And nobody in any of the political groups on Facebook that I regularly take part in, every single day, nobody's talking about this because nobody has been informed. Nobody knows it's coming. How much does a provincial referendum on the voting system cost? Is it $100 million? Is it $1 billion? All that money that's about to come out of your pocket and out of your kids' pockets, we'd have more fun if we just burned that money in the shower. So not only is nobody being informed, the options are the current voting system, which is first past the post, versus 3 different unexplained versions of proportional voting, meaning they're dividing the vote. So if there's a possibility that people actually want proportional votings, we'll divide that by thirds to make sure that there's no change. We are being scammed. We're being hustled. Our money is about to be stolen, and I actually think that this referendum is 100% illegitimate, should not be funded, should not place additional burden on the taxpayer debt, because it's a scam. It's set up to fail. And if you're in BC, well, this is gonna add to your burden of debt. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a lovely day.